one. Good morning, welcome to our Friday morning stretch and roll class. It's our opportunity to keep things moving after we've worked hard for the week. Really important that we keep working on our mobility as things get a bit stiff and a bit tight depending on what we've done or haven't done this week. So this class is an opportunity to stretch things out, but also roll things out and get rid of some muscle tightness. So next half an hour or so, we'll go through some work on the foam roller and then some stretching just to help with our mobility. So we'll start with our foam rollers. We can grab our foam rollers. We're going to start with our glutes. So sitting on the roller. Good thing with this stuff is you get into a nice little routine with it. Generally, we come up with a routine that covers off on the main areas that get tight, and we can stick to that routine. So generally, when we're doing similar exercises, similar areas of our body get tight. So start with that glute. So crossing that leg over, weight through your hand, and really coming up through the back of that glute, feeling for what parts of that glute might be tighter than others. We can sort of slow down and take our time going over those spots. A bit cooler this morning down here on the Gold Coast. Feel the new month bringing those westerly winds and a bit of a cooler change. That's it, really working around those parts of that glute. Into there, a few more there. Remember, we're aiming for around about 20, I think is our sort of magic number with these, give or take a few, but we want to make sure that we give enough time for those muscles to actually get the blood flowing to them and get them to loosen off a little bit. Alright, swap sides. Remember, swap those legs and cross the opposite one over. Leaning through the hand, weight through the foot, make sure we're nice and stable. That's it, it's working backwards and forwards. Remember, you're on a slight side angle there. Again, feeling, now we've done both sides, let's see if there's any real difference side to side or anything you can pick up there. Feels different. Good, keep it rolling. Okay, a couple more. Try and relax onto that roller. I know that sounds it's like a physio sticking an elbow and telling someone to relax, but it's important to try. Don't fight, let those muscles just relax onto that roller. Okay, let's change it up. Work through our hamstrings. So on here, we'll do two at once. Again, hamstrings probably aren't we don't get the greatest benefit, but we still definitely get a bit of blood flowing to them as we do it. So basically what we're trying to do here is sitting over the roller with our legs up in the air, weight through our hands, and we're just rolling through that roller. Shouldn't be too bad. It's not a lot of weight goes through our arms here, so we're sort of on the center of gravity there, rocking over that roller. We're doing two at once, so it's hard to pick up those side-to-side differences, but again, we can roll through that, or we can change that and just put that heel on the ground so we get an opportunity to get a bit more weight through that hamstring. It also means we get a bit more weight through our hands, so just be careful with our hands and wrists. But we can certainly do 2 together or 1 at a time. And you'll feel that difference if you go 1 at a time, where you'll just feel that more pressure through there. Work through that. Alright, remember if we could just mute our microphones up there. That's it, rolling through the back, and we'll do 2 together. Okay, let's move our way down. So we've gone from glute, hamstring, into the calf. It's our next one. So again, I probably prefer to do the calf 1 at a time. So let's do that. A bit more weight through the foot and hand, and then we can work on those tight spots through that calf down to our Achilles. Okay, if you need to sit down and just take a bit of pressure off your arms and shoulders, that's fine. And still work through that calf. Remember, turn your foot in, turn your foot out, and you'll get those slightly different parts of that calf and lower leg that get tight. Good, keep working, a few more there. Keep turning that foot. Good, okay, let's swap sides. And we're right at the end of our roller there. And away we go, backwards and forwards. Try to get right down to that Achilles tendon, top of the heel. Rolling in and out. That foot moving. Foot turned out. A few more there to the inside of that calf. Again, picking up those differences side to side. Okay, good stuff. Alright, moving on. Let's come now back to the up towards the top and work through our ITB down the outside of that leg. So again, we want to be on our side. Foot on the ground, elbow on the ground, and hand on the ground. And we're rolling from the outside of the knee, half to sort of 2/3 of the way up the outside of that leg, around on that IT band. Hopefully a few weeks into using your foam roller correctly, these things are starting to get a little bit less tight. Generally means people can tolerate it a little bit more. Things aren't quite as uncomfortable when we roll through these spots. You'll definitely still have some spots in there that are tight and a bit sore. But rolling through. Remembering to breathe at the same time. We're going to try and relax those muscles as we're persuading them to loosen up a little bit. Good, let's swap sides. can. Same thing, just above our knee, get your setup right, get your points of balance, elbow, hand, foot, and then away we go, nice and controlled. Again, sort of moving those hips around a little bit so we get towards the front of that ITB, the middle of it on our side, even back a little bit, just changing these angles, finding those spots that are nice and tight. And if we put our feet on top of each other, then we certainly increase a bit of pressure going through there. So either feet on top or one foot on the ground is absolutely fine. A couple more. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, next, we're going alright, onto our, let's work on our quads down the front. So just rotating through sort of 90 degrees now, we're down onto the front of that roller. Again, points of contact with the ground. And rolling, so hand or elbows. I've got a knee on the ground, I've got toes on the ground, and I've got my left foot on the roller, or left quad on the roller. We can bend that knee for a little bit of an extra roll, we can straighten it out, that's okay. This one we do want to come up sort of right up towards the hip, staying sort of through the front of our main quad muscle there. Good, rolling through. Couple more. Good, alright, swapping sides. I'm on to my right one now. Actually, I'll go this way. Round again on the edge of the roller. Elbows on the ground. Toes on the ground or foot on the ground, and then rolling backwards and forward. Trying to get that sort of long roll right up the length of that quad, down to our knee, up to our hip, knee bent, knee straight, either's okay. Working through. Good, a few more there. Good. Okay, changing up again. Alright, so let's work our way up a little bit higher now into our backs. So it's one where we're going to lie over our roller. So bend our knees, feet flat on the ground, hands behind your head, and then rolling. Rolling up and down, trying to keep our head back. And we're trying to get our back to get over that roller, open out our chest, get our spine moving. Don't forget to breathe. Again, we can find a spot that's a bit tight and just pause there and lean back over the roller. Try and breathe, try and relax our muscles, let our spine move. So it's either rolling or finding a spot that's tight and staying on it. need to. Good, couple more. Excellent. Okay. Turning back over now. Now that we've loosened up our middle part of our back. Turning over now, we're going to use the roller to push our hands away and get our head down nice and low. Now we want to get really down through our head, shoulders down, rolling away and then coming back up. Pushing away. Trying to use that mobility through our middle back and shoulders. And sinking our chest to the floor, sticking our backside out. And just working backwards and forwards through that, coming back. Extend out, back down, a couple more, so keep it moving. There we go again. Okay, just hold that last one for a minute. Good, and then back up. Good, good. Okay, standing now. Use our foam roller, stretch our calves. So remember, get your foot on the roller. I'll put mine on my mat so it doesn't slip. Heel down, toes or the ball of your foot on the roller. And we're just trying to stay up nice and tall. Get that stretch through the calf. Try and relax your foot. Just reset it if it starts to creep away on you a little bit. Right, then you can come forward over the top a little bit more, give you a little bit more of a stretch. Good, and then swap sides. Seconds. Good. Okay. Put our rollers to the side. We'll get down onto the floor, lying on your back. Okay, let's just do some lower back mobility. So lying on our back. Just start getting things moving a little bit through our backs, stretching side to side, rocking your knees side to side so my feet are together, my feet are on the floor. I'm just rocking those knees from side to side. Just taking them as far as I comfortably go, breathing at the same time. Again, noticing differences side to side. One side's a bit tighter than the other. It's okay. Again, there should be no pain as such with it. Good, next one there, just bending our knee. See if we can cross our foot over and popping it on our knee. And then grab our ankle and our knee. And if you feel like you can give that a bit of a pull towards your chest, so we're stretching out your glute at the back, that's good. If we can also then drop that other leg down, that's great. If we need to keep it there, and we just get a bit of a stretch by pulling our knee across, that's fine. So we just want to get a stretch in that opposite glute. And we're holding this one here now. Just breathe while you're doing it. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Right, good. Swap sides. So again, start in this position, cross it over. Have a feel how things are going there. If we feel like we can increase that stretch a little bit, pull it up and across. If we feel like we can drop that other leg down, then do so. So starting in that position there, and then working your way through, stretching out the hip. We'll often find that one side will definitely feel a little bit more free than the other. Generally, with these glute stretches and hip mobility. Good, and remember to breathe and hold. Good. And let go. Swap sides again, hands behind your knee. Other leg out straight. Hip at about 90 degrees, and we're just going to work that knee bent and straight as we get a bit of mobility into that hamstring. Just work it up and back. Good, two more. Two. Good, swap sides. Going into position first, about 90 degrees at our hip, and then start that leg up and down. Feel that hamstring. See, as you get to the top there, you feel tight. As you start to do a few, you'll start to get a little bit more range movement in it. Not forcing it, but we're definitely asking it to move. Breathing while we're doing it. The leg as straight as possible. Good, three more. Three. Good, good. Okay, up onto our one knee. So let's start a little bit of stretching here through the front of our hip. So up on one knee. Staying up tall and just pushing that hip forward, keeping our glutes activated. So we want to squeeze our glutes as we push our hip forward, getting that stretch through the front. Then we can pop our arm in the air. So I'm stretching my right side, so I've got my right hand in the air. And I'm squeezing my glutes. So I'm staying up tall. I'm pushing that hip forward, getting that stretch through the front of my hip. Very tight there this morning. Good. Okay. And just let that go. Now we're going to stretch our opposite hamstring. So sitting back, you can put your fingertips just on the ground, and we're going to chest down towards this knee here, just sinking back and letting that hamstring have a good stretch. Good. Just holding, breathing, trying to relax. Good, and swap sides. So I've got my left knee on the ground there now, left or right, doesn't matter, just swap them over. And then we're setting up that stretch through the front of our hips. So we're squeezing our glutes, we're pushing our hip forward while we squeeze our glutes, and then we're putting our arm up in the air. Good, and holding. Just keep squeezing your left hip in this case. Good, holding, breathing. Make sure we're not leaning backwards, but just pushing our hips forward. And let go. Okay, coming down into our hamstring on this side now. And tips down, so just heel on the ground or just leaning back. And I'm getting that. It's a fairly strong stretch through that hamstring. Good. Okay. Down onto your front. What we'll do here is just again a little bit of work for our lower back. So I'm down on the front. I'm going to lift up, so I'm going to push up through my arms, but I'm going to keep my hips in contact with the ground. So I'm just arching my back is what I'm doing there, but my arms are doing most of the work. And I'm just going to come up and down. My arms are doing the work, my back and my glutes are now relaxed. And I'm just letting my back bend without the muscles in my back having to do any work. So my arms are doing the work and I'm just hinging through my back. I've got my chest up as I come up. And I'm just moving that up and down. So hips are staying down as I'm coming up and down. Only take it as far as you can. And again, there shouldn't be any pain with it. One more there. Good. Okay, change it up. So we've gone from extension, bending backwards. Let's go to bending forward. So let's get down into our child's pose. So knees wide, feet together. And we're just coming down, reaching out, forehead down on the mat. Just holding 3 deep breaths there. Two. 3. Good. Okay, let's come on to our side. Move on that. Onto our side, so we're going to do our arches for our middle part of our back, or mid to lower part of our back. So hands together, knees stacked on top of each other, feet stacked on top of each other. We're coming through and then reaching back and looking archer, because it's like we're pulling back the bow doing archery. So we'll get those moving. And we're trying to look over that shoulder at the same time. Backwards and forwards, keeping your hips still. Good, 2 more. Two, good. Then we're swapping sides. I've only gone to the right there. Well, I have anyway. Others might have gone to the left. Okay, so setting up again. I'm on my right side now, knees and hips stacked on top of each other, feet on top of each other, hands on top of each other, the arms straight, and then away we go, backwards and forwards, reaching and looking. Okay, don't force again. If our shoulders are a bit sore, we can keep our elbow bent as we come back. keep working it, and keep your hips still. Two more. Two, good. Okay, sitting up. Nearly there. Okay, sitting cross-legged, or as close to cross-legged as you can. I'm just going to take a twist to our left, so hand on the left knee, and just pulling yourself around. Remember to breathe, swapping sides. Good, swapping again, breathe out as we turn. Really trying to get yourself around that little bit further. Good, swap again. Round we go. Good. Okay, side stretch there now. So keeping our hip down, we're coming and stretching up over to the opposite side. So stay grounded through your hip. So we don't want to end up there. We want to keep our hip down and just be pushing and reaching up overhead. Good. Swapping sides. Hip down, reaching up overhead. Swapping sides again. One more each side. Good. And back again. Good. Let's finish up in standing. In standing, we're just going to do a nice roll forward. Okay, so rolling forward, all the way forward. You soften the knees a little bit, that's fine. Just getting down towards the ground. Just hold there. Move your legs backwards and forwards a little bit. Back up. And once more then coming forward. So rolling forward, drop your head, shoulders come forward, and we're rolling all the way down. Good. Then back up. Okay. Well done. Should be nice and flexible. Ease our way into a long weekend. So keep up that stretching and rolling. Remember, we've got a long weekend, so we won't have classes on Monday. You're welcome, Lydia. So jump on our Facebook if you like. Do one of our classes that we've posted up on there. But keep yourself moving. We'll get that class timetable out today for next week. Essentially, it'll be similar, just minus the Monday. So, thank you very much. If you've got anyone, we had a session yesterday regarding knee pain. Again, that's on our Facebook page. So, if you need to have a look at that, or if you want to tag anyone in that you know that has some knee soreness, then feel free to send them that link, and they can watch through that and get their tips on eliminating their knee pain. So. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a fantastic day and a safe weekend. Bye-bye. Thank you. You too. Bye.